Welcome to Hodinkee, Kermit. How are you today?
Well, hi-ho there, Ben. I am doing very well. Thanks for having me here. I am excited to learn more about watches from you, even though I don't really wear a watch.
So I still think you like talking about them, but how have you been?
Well, I've been busy. I've been working on new projects, catching up on movies and TV, and spending time with friends and family.
So, I don't know if you know this, but you're actually kind of a pretty big deal in the watch collecting community.
Oh, really? You're kidding. I didn't have any, I didn't know that. I wonder why.
So I can't really say why, but you're known for really many things. Maybe it's the vibrant color green. I mean, it's kind of iconic.
Well, yeah, thank you, Ben. This green suits me nicely, and, I kind of like to think it's a classic color. Might even look good on a watch.
I think it would.
Yeah.
So tell me, if you don't wear watches, how do you tell the time?
We frogs have developed a natural circadian rhythm, and it keeps our body clock humming smoothly day in and day out. And it's kind of like having your own little internal watch. It's pretty neat, but it does make it kind of redundant to have a watch collection, so...
So you've got kind of your own internal watch collection.
You heard it here first, folks. Frogs have the world's largest internal watch collection. Somebody should call Guinness Book of World Records.
So I actually thought of you the other day when I saw the new Oris watch with your face on it. Have you seen this thing?
Well, I haven't actually seen anybody wearing it, but let's take a look at that. Oh, that looks really nice. It looks great on you. You have a show called Talking Watches, but maybe you should do a spin-off called Wearing Watches.
That's a good idea. Thanks, Kermit.
Yeah.
Since this is Hodinkee, I'd love to talk watches with you.
Well, no time like the present. I'm really curious about watches. I think you could walk a newcomer like me through some different watches, Ben.
Hey, this is what I'm here for.
All right, let's do it.
So if you want to start a collection, you'll have to start somewhere. And I think for a starter watch, I would really recommend an heirloom, something that really means something special to you. So for example, this was actually given to me, or a watch similar to this was given to me by my grandfather. And that's how I got here.
Oh, wow, that's really great. Let me think if I've got anything like that. Fozzie used to wear a joke watch. And instead of telling the actual time, it just said, it's time for a laugh. Is that the kind of thing that you're talking about?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like that. Well, we can say it's like that, but
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking more things like this. So this is the iconic Omega Speedmaster Professional. This watch actually went to the moon. This watch was worn by the astronauts in 1969.
This watch, this actual watch right there.
Well, this model of watch, not this actual watch.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? It's a really beautiful watch, and I'm a big fan of Buzz Aldrin, and not just because his first name reminds me of my favorite snack, fruit flies.
That's good. And I think you like this one too. So this is a Blancpain 50 Fathoms, and it has a bezel that...
I'm sorry, it's a what?
It is a Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Do you think you could say that?
I do not think so.
It's probably better off. I can't really.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
So this watch has a bezel, which is this ring on the outside here that you turn, which allows people, divers in this case, to time how long they've been underwater.
I can't fathom diving that deep. But that watch would look great for relaxing in swamp water. Yeah, I tend to lose track of time floating downstream. I worry about ruining the battery, though.
So it's interesting, not all watches are battery powered. I know you love the environment, so I think you'd love an automatic watch. It winds itself using energy created by the movement of whoever is wearing it.
What, really?
Truly.
Oh, wow. I mean, I bet that I could charge it for days just by going like this. Yay!
Talk about green energy.
You are right about that. Hey, are there any watches that tell anything other than time?
I never thought you'd ask. I mean,
Wow.
there are so many different what we call complications. This one is an old...
Sounds complicated.
That's good. This one is an old watch by a company called Patek Philippe, and it tells you the phases of the moon across the night sky.
Whoa, that is incredible. I mean, that would be great for Rolf the dog. He's always wondering the perfect time to go out and howl at the moon.
So the last one I want to show you is actually designed for children. It's called Parchi, and it has a quartz movement. And a quartz movement means it's got a battery in it. And this watch actually has colorful numbers on it to allow you to tell the difference between hours and minutes.
Well, wow, that one's really neat. The colors remind me of a song, which reminds me of a song Q, but I don't think we have time for that, do we?
I think probably not today.
No, not today.
Now that you know so much more about watches, I'd love to hear about why keeping time is important to you, especially when it comes to working with the Muppets.
Well, I really believe, Ben, that time is what you make of it. You know, rather than spending time being cynical, I think it's so important to spend time doing things that you love with people you love to do them with. And lucky for me and for the Muppets, we get to do the work I love the most, which is singing and dancing and making people happy.
That's so great. You know, I want to talk a little bit more about the Oris Kermit watch. It features a date window at 6 o'clock, so you know what day it is.
Yeah.
And on the first of the month, it shows a really, really familiar face. In fact, look at that.
Yeah, I know. You mean this face? That's the one, right?
Exactly. So I've heard a little bit about Kermit Day. What is Kermit Day?
Well, Kermit Day, you know how I mentioned how important keeping time is for the Muppets, but it's just as important to make time for yourself. So, you know, my Kermit Day, and that's why I call it Kermit Day. It's a day that I spend practicing self-care and doing things that make me happy. And but you know, it's not just about celebrating me, Ben. It's about encouraging everybody to take the time to celebrate themselves. You know, everybody out there needs some self-care too, and everybody out there deserves dedicated time to tend to their needs and to spend time on their own interests or just do nothing at all.
I heard you just recorded a new song about that very topic. Do you mind if we share it?
Yeah, well, only if you don't mind me singing along.
I gotta make time for me. Take a moment of my day for a cup of tea. I gotta make time for me. Find your me time.
Well, Kermit, that's about time for us.
I get what you did there. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here and telling us all about internal amphibian clocks. That's a first for us.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me on and teaching me about watches. Yeah, I am always happy to talk about circadian rhythm, mostly because it's so fun to say. Circadian rhythm, circadian rhythm. Give it a try there, Ben.
Circadian rhythm.
We'll work on it. No, that was great.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, yeah. You know, however you choose to keep time, I hope that you and that everybody out there just makes time for their own self-care. You know, believe me, it makes all the difference in the world.
Thanks so much, Kermit.
Well, thank you, Ben, and see you later, everybody.
I gotta make time for me.
Whoa, that's good.